Dehancer Film Emulation did ask me to review this software and give my honest opinion of it. They're not paying me to give any glowing comments. I'm not a professional yet. I kind of know what I'm doing, but I'm still learning, so I might be possibly a good test subject. They offer film simulation for photo and video, and it's compatible with iOS, Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, Capture One, After Effects, and a couple other things. All right. So on the screen here, I'm going to go through how you use the software and what you can get from it. It's a really good software from what I've been using for a couple weeks now. I enjoy using it. So right now I get it to work seamlessly with Lightroom Classic, and it kind of works most of the time with regular Lightroom. So, but if you want it to work seamlessly, it's going to be Lightroom Classic, which is basically the same thing. You don't lose much functionality if you use Lightroom Classic versus Lightroom. All right, so one of these is the original edited photo I took. One of these is a film emulation software applied. So this is the one with the emulation software applied. This is the one that was edited straight from the camera. All right. Now off the bat, it's kind of clear that the skin tone is a little bit different. Now again, I'm not a professional, so I'm just showing you the results I got when I did one of the film emulation presets. Right, so if you like this kind of look, you can get very creative with it. There's a plethora of things. All right, the off the bat, one of the first things you should know, you can apply the film emulation to JPEG photos as well as raw photos. I have some samples down here, and these are all pictures that I've taken, and it works seamlessly in Lightroom. So what it does, it creates a second photo. Or a copy of it. You can ask it to edit the original or make a copy, that kind of thing. So we're going to try that right now. I'm going to skip to this photo, and this is in JPEG already. It says underexposed, so I guess I could raise the exposure. Now you can choose to edit in Dehancer with the Lightroom edits or without the edits and then edit after. So far I prefer to do my Lightroom edits and then go straight to Dehancer for the finished product. Dehancer is kind of like the icing on the cake. All right, so you right click, edit in. You can do Dehancer plugin or Dehancer. We'll try both. And with Dehancer plugin, it tells you edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments, edit the copy or edit original. I usually do edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. That way I can just easily revert to what I had before. All right, and then we'll try the other option, see what difference it makes. Edit in Dehancer. It's the same option. And here you have the option to choose the file format and so on and so forth. All right, so I'm just gonna use the edit in Dehancer Lightroom plugin. I will do edit. Now, of course, the instructions to install the program and so on. It took me maybe 10 minutes, and most of that was just waiting for it to download and to install as a plugin with Lightroom. But it was very, very easy to get it to work. From you click download, register, and then you're off to the races. All right. So looking at the platform, it's not a lot. It looks like a lot, but not really. It's not as much as Lightroom. We'll go from left to right. So over here we have, actually we'll go from right to left. OK is what you hit once you're done, and then it bakes in on the copy of the image, if you choose that option, all the film emulation settings that you've chosen. Cancel, nothing is done. You hit this here to see before and after. So right now, this is the before, this is the original file. This is after because it's applied this film emulation on it. Agfa Chrome RSX 200. This adjust the size of the image in for your view. This one gives you a little waveform, and it works kind of just like your waveform on Lightroom, as far as I can tell. When you adjust the exposure, it kind of moves up and down. You can then hit reset. This is pretty straightforward, I think. You see a little counterclockwise circle, half circle, or three-quarter circle with an arrow. It means reset. And this one, if you had, you can turn on peaking. Clipping, sorry, show or hide clipping. If anything's clipped, you can kind of see it. So right now it looks like the shadows are clipped. So I could have raised that in Lightroom, so I'll get more detail back in the shadows, perhaps. All right, and then we'll turn that off. All right, going to the other side, this would be an undo button. So let's say, for example, I had adjusted the temperature too much. You can just hit undo and go right back. That will redo. Pretty self-explanatory. And then this resets all settings. So this is the original. And this one shows the settings on your computer. Do you have your license activated? That kind of stuff. Yeah, good. And this one hides the panel on the left. Okay, cool. So before we get into the sliders over here, we'll go to the other easy part. So over here you can choose the different the different film profiles. And there's a plethora of them, a whole heap. So one of the things I was concerned about with the film emulation software is if everybody has it, or if a lot of people have it, then everybody's film is going to look similar, or everybody's picture is going to look similar. But there's an almost infinite way you can edit your picture. So there's no reason for it to look similar. In any case, if you have a digital camera these days, a lot of the pictures are going to look, they're not going to have that much difference in how they appear, because most cameras take similar nice looking pictures. And then the only difference is your editing preference, what kind of LUT you might use, that kind of stuff. Well, think of these as kind of a LUT, your style of shooting or your style of presenting your images. All right, there's a whole heap of them, a whole heap. And what I like to do in here is if I find one that I like, then I would just favorite it, right? But I haven't found one that I like to favorite, because these are just the like, think of it like a base coating for your film. No pun intended for the actual film development, so don't come after me. And then you can make your changes in here, your defringing and so on and so forth. We'll get to that in a second. But my preference here, let me just reset everything. My preference is to go to presets, and then these have a bunch of preset film emulation edits with already baked in. So you can notice, if you can notice on the right side over here, that these change depending on which preset. So it's just like a LUT but for film, right? I like that. I like that. The thing I don't like about this, as of this date, I don't see an obvious way to heart this or favorite a preset. I guess you could just remember the name, I guess so. But I wish there was a way you could put it in a folder. You can export this preset and then import it, I guess. But it would have been nice if you could just favorite it just like that, which would be good. I think that would be good. I think that would be good if you could do that, right? And then you could just go favorites and it shows up. I think that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. Because right now, if I like, say, this one or this one, that one actually looks pretty cool. I'd have to now remember which one, or rifle through them to see which one I want to use. The one I ended up using, I haven't tried it on a black and white film just yet. The one I like a whole heap would be the Agfa. This is the Agfa 100. Here we go. I don't even remember. Yeah, Agfa 200. This one, I'd like this one. I really do. Let's see what the before and after looks like. This is before I even make any adjustments over here. But this is the presets I probably won't. That's the before. That's the after. It just gives the picture a different look, a different feel. I am going to make a video. My intention is to make a video of the video of a film emulation for video files. So that should be pretty interesting. But for pictures, it just gives a different look. I think I could see this being useful for wedding photography, and not, I don't know, about maybe event photography, because this might be stylish to a musician to see their picture with some kind of film emulation, right? Because musicians are by definition artsy, I think. And yeah, and so the last bit, it would be the sliders over here. Now you can select a preset and then fine tune it even more. You can go through these, and I'll try to give as much information as I can. So some of these are going to be self-explanatory. Now, it's safe to assume that if you're looking at this video, or if you've even heard of Dehancer, you would probably know what most of these are. Probably more than me. But here we go. So exposure compensation, pretty straightforward, right? It just increases or decreases the brightness of the film. The one thing I don't like about this sometimes is that if you use, let me try to use this one here. If you use, let's use this one. Let's go back and use a preset. Let's use this one. Let's say you used exposure compensation. It seems like there's a little bit of a lag sometimes when you move it's working fine now, but sometimes when I move the sliders, it doesn't adjust as quickly. But that seems fine. It seems like it's working. Let me try it with one of these. No, it's working. It's working great now. Isn't that something? All right. It's working great, so that's not a problem. All right, so the other thing, let me just reset all of this. Let's use, right now I am shooting, the type of film I'm using is Kodak Portra 400. Kodak Portra 400. I think it's this one. I think it's that one. That's the film stock I'm using right now. That looks amazing, actually. Let's see the before and after. That looks fantastic. All right, and then let's see what else we can do. So you can go in here and change how the in huge quotations, the film developer would work, but digitally, right? According to the emulation software. So it stands to reason, if it's in the developer longer, you're going to get a darker image, I guess. I don't know what these numbers mean. It must be a value that somebody could probably explain. And I would assume, from having a medical background, that a developer means you would get more signal from the image, right? I think that's the best way to explain it. So a higher number gives you a darker image, and a lower number gives you a washed out image, right? I think. All right, and then gamma correction, I'm not sure what that is, but you can play with it to see which one you like and which one you prefer, that kind of stuff. It's all here for you to use. So we can reset all this. Color boost, this is black and white, so I won't apply as much. White point, there's not much white in here, so I guess I could, okay, I kind of like that though, because his cheeks look like they're a little overexposed right there, because there was a light shining this way on his face. And then you can do things. The thing I like down here would be the print simulation, and you can use, let's say, I like Kodak, so let's do Kodak print simulation. That just gives a different look to your pictures, man. Look at that. That's the before, that's the after. That just gives a different look. Let me take everything home. Man, that just gives a different look. I wish you could now also cancel all edits, reset all edits. I wish you could. Can you just go back? Let me see. Yes, you can. Oh, fantastic. So it goes right back. It's not a redo. So cancel and then undo will just take you back to where you were before. All right, so that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. That's before. Where'd it go? What happened? Did it crash? Oh, good. This might be a good test, you know. You know what? Because sometimes you might close it accidentally. And then when you do reopen it with the same picture, it picks up where you left off. So that might have been a Freudian mistake there. I think I just clicked behind here by accident. Let's make that full screen so it won't happen again. And I think that's pretty cool. I like that look. That looks like a picture that was taken maybe in the 1980s. So if you're using this for professional clients, be sure that this is what they want, and they're not looking for a really sharp, clinically a beautiful image. I think this is pretty. I think that's really cool. Now, imagine this with video. It's not a this is not about video, but imagine this with video, where you have the right music, the right story, and this film emulation might just finish it off. I think this is a really good product. I will definitely be using this for some shoots, for sure. All right, so at the end of it, once you're satisfied, let's say I was happy with this, I'm gonna hit OK, and then that extra file is now stored on here. So we're gonna compare. I'm gonna compare them both. So that's the original. Let me see. That's the original, and then this is the simulation. All right. Both of them I think look good. I think this is more interesting than this one. I really think so. Let me zoom in to see. Yeah, I don't know. You can tell me what you think. This one looks cleaner for sure, but this looks way more interesting. All right, so let's try another picture. I kind of like this picture too, you know. I like this picture too, but I want, let me see what it does. Let's try this one to see what we can do with this one. Let's edit and Dehancer, and we'll do a copy. Now let me use a preset. And we're gonna stick with the Agva. Oh my God, you know what? That looks so cool. That looks so cool. All right, and this was actually taken at the JFK Museum. So it's I think this is really, really cool. Let's try another one just to experiment a little bit. Let's just click through. So this is what I mean. So if I find one that I like, I can't right click. I'm right clicking right now. I can't save it. I can't save it as a favorite or anything, because if I hit this plus, I'm going to be creating my own preset. I guess I could rename it, call it something or whatever it is. I don't know. In any case, let me see if I could find that. Actually looks cool too. That one doesn't look too bad. Let's use this one. So you just have to click through, but there's so many options to pick on here. So many options. It's almost like when you're going for a taste test at a restaurant or ice cream store or something. You have to wash your mouth out before each test, because it's just gonna get you won't be able to tell the difference. You're gonna get overwhelmed, I think. But oh, actually, that looks pretty cool too. Which one's that? Fujifilm. That looks pretty cool. I wouldn't even do much with this at all. I like the light that's coming through on this side. In retrospect, what I could have done differently with this picture, I didn't want her to see I was taking this picture, by the way, because I didn't want her to look at the camera or smile. But I wish I had straightened this out a little bit more. You can see the lines are a little bit rotated. I could crop this in and straighten it out, but I wish I had done it in camera. I like to reflect the reflections back here and the light hitting behind her. I think that's a cool picture. All right, so let's say I was done with this. Let's look at before and after, by the way. This is before, that's after. And let's hit OK and see how that looks. And we'll compare both images. All right, which one do you prefer? Let me try to get this picture here. All right, so it creates a new file as per usual, and that's pretty quick. So it's working really well. Working really well. And I'm doing a screen recording, so the computer is cooking. It's cooking. All right. So right now, this doesn't look too bad at all. This doesn't look too bad at all, man. That's nice and sharp. This does not look too bad at all. Does not look too bad. Let me get rid of that. that does not look too bad. All right, so let me start with, let me use I won't use a preset this time. I use a Kodak 400. Let me zoom out again. You know what? That looks so good. That looks so cool. That looks interesting. That looks nice too. But that looks interesting, man. I also kind of makes her look like she's got a booger on her nose, I think. Yeah, the shadow, it accentuates the shadow, makes it look like she has a booger in her nose. She doesn't. It's just how it looks. Yeah, it's just how it looks. But I like the look of that for sure. Let me adjust the film grain to see what else I can do. Let's do from 8 to 65. Let me zoom in so we can see see if we can see a big difference here. So that's 65. Let's do 8. Yeah, it looks a little grainy. Looks a little grainy. Let's try 65, 50 ISO. Yeah, it looks a little sharper. All right, so these little changes can build up to a masterpiece for someone who wants to play around with this, and it can really make or break make the difference between a good picture and a really good photograph. All right, I like that though. I really do like that. All right, the other thing you can do on here is turn halation on or off, right? And let me see what I could do. So the halation, from what I read, it just makes bright areas bloom, certain parts of the image bloom, or glow, I should say, glow, not bloom, glow, because the blooming is different. All right, so if there was a light in here, then it would bloom. I want to show a picture with a light right after this, but I like this. I really do. I'm biased right now with Kodak because that's the one I'm most familiar with since I started using film a few weeks ago. All right, so let me hit OK. Wait for it to do its thing. Okay, so sometimes I do get this little spinny color wheel thing that indicates it's doing its work. Plus the computer is doing screen recording and recording audio from the mic at the same time. So it's doing a lot of work. All right. So let me put the original on one side, and the original is not a bad picture. I think this is interesting. I really think this is interesting. And if you're doing a model shoot, the model might appreciate this kind of edit versus one that's clinically sharp. Because the truth is, the background isn't always interesting. And especially, this was a park I was shooting at, and I think it was a park. I don't quite remember. And there were a lot of people around, so the background can be distracting. So if you can edit stuff or edit the model's picture to make her the main focus of the picture, that'll be good. Aside from your framing, you could do something like this with the film emulation, and then it's clear that she is the main focus, because now we're not distracted by the lights back here, which is not very distracting as it is. But these leaves are colorful and they're pretty and they add to the image, kind of. But is it really important? Not really. But this one kind of, in my view, it makes it clear that she is the main focus of the image. And I kind of like that. I do. All right, let me find one that has lights. Okay, that's good. Let me try this one. Let me see which other one we have here. Okay, so let's try this one. This is a good picture too, I think. And it opens, it's been opening quickly, which is good. Let's see how quickly it opens for this one. All right, it's doing its thing. It's already open. Yay. It's a little, okay, cool. It opens up. All right, so this is what the picture looks like. Let me just reset everything, clear all the edits. That's what it looks like without the film emulation. And it's not a bad picture. In retrospect, I wish I had gone closer to the window rather than at an angle. Right? Because I think right now her face, it almost looks like I'm trying to shoot two people. Right? So I think this should be less of a big part in the picture, and more on her face. In any case, not a bad picture. Also, I think I could have used a tighter field of view, so I coned out all this stuff over here in the back right. All right, so let me use a preset. Let's try something different. Let's use this one. Actually, that looks pretty cool already. Let's use this one, and then we'll try the blooming to see what it does to the blooming and the halation, to see what it does to these lights. So let me use the halation first. Let's use 65, go all the way up. All right, so that gives a little glow. Let me do before and after. That's before and after. You can see it. Let me zoom in. You can see that her face is now glowing right around the edges. I wonder if somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. I wonder if this is what they would use to get, back in the day they would do the glamour shot, and this is how they would get it. Actually, looking back, those pictures look so goofy, but but it was all the rage to have your face glowing like you're a ghost. But let me see if I could find an actual glamour shot here, example of this. Let me see if I could find it. Yeah, here it is. So, let me make this smaller. So these used to be all the rage back in the day, right? I mean, okay, back then it was what people craved. But man, this looks so goofy, man. I had a girlfriend once, and she took a picture. I thought at the time, man, she looks so beautiful, but she looked beautiful without it. But looking, does anybody do this anymore? I don't know. So this might be the effect that you might do to get that. I'm not sure. All right, so that's the halation. So let me turn that off, and then we'll use blooming, and then we will, let me make this smaller to see if we see a big difference with the bloom. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe there aren't enough bright lights in here. Let's turn blooming and halation on, and then see. Yeah, that looks like, I don't like that look at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. So I probably wouldn't use this, and if I do use it, I'd use it sparingly. I like this as is. That's before, that's after. Before, that's after. I think this is a way more interesting picture. Way more interesting picture. All right, so let me hit OK, and then we'll compare in Lightroom both images. So this one is, let me put that one there and then put this one over here. All right, so which one is better? Which one is better? Which one is better? Which one is better? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know at all. Let me zoom in. I don't know. I think that, I don't know. Actually, I like the skin tone on her here. This is close to her actual skin tone, by the way. This one. All right, this has to be one of my, if not my favorite picture of last year, 2024. Real sharp, and this lady was just so photogenic. Plus, she got perfect teeth. Just absolutely fantastic picture, right? And I was using the Samyang 135 mil f. I think it's 1.8. I think so sharp. So it was some distance away, and it's the depth of field is so narrow that the guy right behind her, even her ear, is out of focus. The side of her glass is out of focus, and it just nailed the focus right on her eye. It was incredible. I don't think I use a flash. I don't remember. I don't think I use a flash for this. I actually don't remember. But it worked out really well. So I like this picture here. I really, really like this picture. So let me see what I can do. It does say underexposed, or slightly underexposed according to the histogram. But I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, that does look a little better. Let me go back. Let me go back and see. That does look a little better, but let me drag this and see. I don't know. I guess it does look a little better. All right, so let me edit that in Dehancer to see what we can get. What can I get? Let me see. Will it be golden? I don't think I can get a bad result from this latest picture. I don't think so, but we'll see. Okay, good. So it pops up with the last one I used. Hey, god damn, I don't like that one bit. All right, pops up. All right, so can I tone that down a little bit? Okay, so another thing you can use. It says push pull EV, but I wish you could. I wish it was an obvious slider. Maybe I haven't found it. An obvious slider that allows you to adjust the impact on the film, like the amount or how much is applied. But I don't see that slider. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's it because that says EV, exposure value. So that might be it. I don't see it changing. Well, that's an interesting look, I guess, but not better than the original in my view. That's the original. That's the after. I don't like that one bit. Not even a little bit. Let me try this one. That looks like a dream. Not a good one either. That one's not too bad. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I do like that. Let's try another one. These are not presets, by the way, so I'm going to jump into presets in a little bit. And the presets are more like the finished products. Let's see what we can get. If I sent this to them, they would probably ask for my camera and then bop me on the head with it and take their money and my money on top of it. This one here, I don't know if they'd like that. Not for this type of a gig. Maybe for a model, but not for an event photography. Because then they'd say I could have taken a better picture with my phone. But so okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. This is Agfa Chrome RSX2 200. That's interesting. Let me compare that. That's interesting. Oh, for sure. For sure. Let's see what else. I'm going to pick this ugly one. Let me turn it back on. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to remember this one. Agfa 200X. I wish I could save it. You know, I have to remember what it is. What else? The good thing is you get a preview of what the image might look like. Let me see this one. It looks interesting. Now it just looks washed out here though. I'd have to add the color back. Looks really washed out. I don't think they would like that at all because I wouldn't like it. And there's a bunch of black and white pictures in here. Not many of them look good. These look like some recurring dreams I used to have back in the day. Not in a frightening way, just dreams that I knew it wasn't a dream, it was just a loop. And everything just had that color. That's it. That's the feeling I get when I look at this. And oh, that actually looks pretty cool though. Oh wait, that's Kodak Portrait. I'm just biased. I'm just biased. You know what just occurred to me? That I used to have those dreams. I just figured out that my father was actually a photographer long after he passed away. And the reason I figured this out was I started taking photography serious when I was in my 40s, 42. And he had passed away many years since. This is still doing his stuff. And then when I started to try to frame things and put them in good light and so on, I would then realize that some of my kid pictures and family pictures were taken with a lot of intention. And that was fantastic. And then I realized, man, that's another thing I could have shared with him. And we could have had bonded together with him. We didn't get a chance to. But I remember he had an old camera and he would take a lot of pictures. And this is long before the digital age. And it must have taken so much work to get those pictures to look nice. And I could see then that he took a lot of care and intentionality in getting things framed right and using light and so on and so forth. And it was pretty good. And he would position us in a certain way and so on and so forth. And I didn't enjoy it at the time, I don't think, because it seemed like it took a long time. Now I understand because it was an analog camera. All right, so one of these is nice. One of these is actually better, and I like this one. I like this one a whole heap. I like this. I like this. It's still sharp. The skin tone is a little different. Not sure how they'd feel about that, right? Hasn't lost its sharpness. Right, this is the original, and this is the one with the film stock. I think they might still like that. I changed a couple things on here though. I try to make it a little bit brighter, keep the grain, but a little bit brighter for her face. But she might like that. I think she might have liked this too. Generally, when I ask people which picture they prefer, they usually pick the brighter one. I think MKBHD mentioned that first when he would do his smartphone reviews of cameras. And I actually find myself doing the same thing, and I've tried it with other people, and they almost always pick the brighter one. So what I would probably do is not send him this picture and send him this one. I would make it a little bit brighter. All right, and then before I go, oh, actually, you know what? This one has a lot of character. All right, so let me do another one. This video is going on way too long. I'll try to chop it up, but let me do this one because I like this picture here. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Let me see before and after. That's before, that's after. That actually looks better already. That looks better already. That looks better. Let me try some other ones. That looks cool too, huh? Whoa. That looks cool too. That looks real cool. That looks good too, man. That looks good. I won't even mess with it. Let me hit OK and see what it looks like side by side. All right. So one of these is better. This is the original, and that's the one with the film stock. This adds way more character, I think. It's clear that they're laughing and having a good time. The picture is not about the quality here. The picture is about what are these guys doing? What are they laughing about? And what I love about these event photography things is that when you capture moments like this and people see it, it almost like you're freezing a moment in time. And they now have to, when they look at this picture, they now have to think back, oh, what was that joke again? And they might even have another laugh. So you get to relive that joy over and over again, maybe 20 years down the line or 30 years down the line. Where were we? What were we talking about? Oh, remember that joke? And then they probably laugh again. Amazing. All right. And then I won't do any editing with this, but these are actual film photographs I've taken. I already showed these on another video. But I was going to compare the film emulation with actual film photography, but I couldn't find any similar scenes to compare it with. But for film photography, it's not too bad. This artifact here is actually something that was on the scanner. Not my scanner, the company that scanned the photographs. But, you know, and they rescanned it, so it's fine. But all right, so that's it. I like this software. I will definitely be using it for certain gigs, namely when I do model photos again, or for some wedding photos, I might do the same thing. And I'll definitely be using it for video. So I'll make a separate video on the how you can use the film emulation software, how that looks on video, and see how that works out. All right, sorry it's so long. Take it easy.